Let's go to our next call. This is Kathy calling in from Charlotte. You're on East Coast Live with Frank Zappa live.
Hey, Frank.
Hi.
Hi, I'm Janet the Planet's sister.
Oh, yeah, how you doing?
Hey, I'm fine. Janet called me tonight. Janet and Denny called me from Atlanta and said that I should call and give you their love and everything, and so I'm doing it.
Oh, I appreciate that.
I'm surprised I got through. It was just a twist of fate.
Yeah, well, they came to visit me not too long ago. They were in the studio.
Were they really? Well, they're coming up here in a couple weeks.
Well, give them a big hug for me.
I sure will. I was remembering when my other sister, remember Susan and Janet and I all were at the premiere of Baby Snakes.
Uh-huh.
Kathy, let us in on what you're talking about.
Well, Janet the Planet is one of the stars of Baby Snakes. She's a participant in the infamous audience participation dance contest.
Oh, yeah. And Kathy's that's your sister.
That's my sister, one of my sisters, yeah.
With the whip.
With the whip and the pitchfork.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you want to see Janet in all of her glory, just go out and rent Baby Snakes.
Just go rent Baby Snakes, that's right. Well, Frank, it's great talking to you. And have you ever, and let me ask you something. I'm teaching classical guitar here in Charlotte, and I'm a classical guitarist. And have you ever heard David Russell?
No.
Well, check it out. I'd even send you a disc or something because I think you'd really enjoy his playing. I just heard him out in San Francisco and in L.A., and it just the most fabulous playing.
Okay, well, I'll look into it.
Yeah, look into that one.
Kathy, I'm glad you got through. Thanks for being so persistent.
Yeah, I have too. Thanks.
Bye-bye.
And good luck to you, Frank.
Okay,
nice
bye.
talking to you. Bye.
You know, one of the things that makes me feel so good tonight, Frank, is how strong your voice is. We had, the last time you were on in November, you felt pretty good, but you had a toothache.
Oh, yeah, well, the toothache is gone.
Cool. All right, man. And he still drinks black coffee, and he still smokes, just in case anyone is curious. Okay, let's go to Tim calling in. No, this is Alan. Is that in Charlotte?
In Charlotte.
Okay, Alan, welcome to the show. You're on East Coast Live.
Thank you very much. Hi, Frank.
Hi.
Frank, I had sent in a fax, but they were nice enough to let me talk to you. I just wanted to thank you for years of great music going back to the late 60s when I was in high school, and not just brilliant music, but really great humor and sarcasm. I think the sarcasm really helped me get through high school.
Well, anything that helps a person get through high school is a good thing.
That's right. Well, I went off to University of Miami Law School, and I saw you on the patio that you did a concert around 1973 that I have a cousin that came in from Atlanta who's now a psychiatrist, and we were just talking about that concert, how great it was.
I remember that concert.
Yeah, it was great to see you.
That was hot there.
It's always hot there.
So now you are a lawyer in Charlotte.
That's right.
And Frank, that's the amazing thing about it. You talk about misconceptions, just like the Grateful Dead. A lot of people think the Grateful Dead fan. I remember I was program director of a radio station, another station in this area, and some of the employees I worked with said, "Oh, you don't want to get the Grateful Dead hour. Those people, long hairs, they don't take a bath," and nothing could be further from the truth. I mean, most people who like the Grateful Dead are just like Frank Zappa fans. They're mostly very intelligent, very professional. Lawyers, doctors, and
classical guitar teachers.
That's it. See, I mean, this is one of the misconceptions. So, Alan, you're an example of a typical Frank Zappa.
What a role model.
Yeah.
Thank you, Frank. I know that both of us have bathed regularly at least sometime. I also wanted to thank you. The Ryko disc collection is great because when I meet young musicians, and I mean, people in their early 20s, they're just amazed when you get them to listen to your music and Ainsley Dunbar and just great music.
You're absolutely right. Alan, thank you very much for calling.
Thank you, Frank.
Bye-bye.
Okay.
Alan Gordon's his name. That's why I got confused. I appreciate you calling. Let's go to Len calling in from our WZZU affiliate in Raleigh. Len, you're on with Frank Zappa.
Hello, Mr. Zappa.
Hi, Len.
Oh, wow. Alan, I know how you feel about being nervous.
Well, yeah, it's kind of like, it's a neat kind of nervous, and I was trying to explain this to the staff here and friends this afternoon. I've talked to Frank since 1977, and I've interviewed a lot of stars on this show, as you know, or maybe if this is the first time you're listening to the show, maybe you don't know. But Frank, I'm in awe. I mean, I feel like I'm 16 years old when I talk to Frank. I don't know why. It's just that
Well, you got a hormone problem.
I don't know. I just get nervous, but now I feel good. The adrenaline's turned into energy. So, Len, take it away.
Well, I tell you, I called him 4 years ago when he was on Larry King, and I could barely get the question out. Just several quick questions I've wondered for years, and you can answer for me. At the end of a little house I used to live in on Bert Winnie's Sandwich,
Yep.
there's a little confrontation between you and someone in the audience. What was that all about?
Oh, that was at the Albert Hall, and during the concert, well, as the concert was ending, the Albert Hall stage is a very low stage, so it's easy to jump onto it. And a kid about 14 or 15 had jumped onto the stage, and two London policemen, bobbies, came over and escorted him very nicely off the stage. And this guy in the audience is screaming, "Get those bloody uniforms off the stage, man."
Yeah.
You know, all that stuff. And I reminded the audience that everybody in the audience was wearing a uniform.
Yeah.
And they kept on screaming, and I said, stop it, you'll hurt your throat.
Yeah. Okay, another question on Uncle Meat, the Good Humor Trucks, the next last movie of King Kong.
Yeah.
How are you making those sounds, man? I mean, it's the melody of King Kong, but it's so wild. How do you remember how you did that?
Yeah, we slowed the tape down gradually, just made it go out of tune.
I mean, there were so many monster sounds on there that I've yet to hear recreated anywhere. They were just fabulous.
And that was before synthesizers.
Yeah, exactly. Any plans to release Mother Mania, the Verve anthology, on CD?
No, because most of the material in that already exists on the other albums. That was just...
I always like the mix of Who Are the Brain Police a little better. I could hear more of the piano, but it still sounds great on Freak Out regardless.
Len, thanks for calling in, man. Good, and thanks for turning on the show for the first week in that market.
Can I get one more quick question in?
Yeah, real quick.
The Bizarre logo, Bizarre Records. What is that logo?
It's a vacuum pump.
A vacuum pump?
Yep.
Okay, thanks,
right,
Frank.
Len.
My best to you and your family.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye, Len. This is Brian calling in from WZZU area, Rock 93.9 in Raleigh. Brian, you're on, man.
Hi, guys. Listen, Frank, two quick questions. One, with the success of The Who's Tommy on Broadway, any thoughts of maybe treating Joe's Garage the same way?
We actually had a business meeting with a guy from Wall Street about 3 weeks ago on exactly that topic, but he never called back.
Well, I hope something comes of it. And secondly, I hope you can give me the final official version of the reference to Frank Zappa and the Mothers in the Deep Purple song "Smoke on the Water." I've heard a couple of different stories.
That's a good question. Good question.
The horse's mouth.
Yeah.
Well, at the time that we were playing at this, it was the casino in Montreux, Switzerland, and that's where the fire took place. And prior to the concert, the room itself was being used by Deep Purple as a recording studio. They had the Rolling Stones remote truck parked in the basement, and they were using this hall to record their album. And the reference in their song is to the fire that took place there.
Okay.
All right, Brian, thanks for calling.
Hey, Alan, welcome back to Raleigh.
Hey, man, it's great to be back in that market. Frank and I did a lot of shows and it's just great to be back. A lot
We
of
love
fans.
you on ZZU.
Yeah, man. Thanks a lot.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, we got to take as many calls as we can squeeze on in the next 7 minutes. Let's go to, now let's take some local calls since we're getting calls all over the country. Let's go to Thomasville, a Fox listener. This is Chip. You're on East Coast Live, man.
Thank you. Hi, Frank.
Hi, Chip.
I would like to ask what would be your most significant work that you've done or most significant work that you've heard and composition.
Wow, that's a tough question.
Well, I got some songs that I've done that I like. I like The Blue Light. I like Jazz Discharge Party Hats. I like Dumb All Over. I like Cyborg. Different songs amuse me at different times.